Hey guys, Pieguyrulz here, and welcome back to another Adventure Time TV log. Today we are talking about the prince that wanted everything. This is a great episode. I think it's probably my favorite comedically for season 6, definitely. I was almost going to say my favorite dramatically, but I forgot about Escape from the Citadel. And also the tower, that's true. Anyway, it's such an interesting story, not just on the surface, the actual Fiona and Cake story itself, but really more what it says about Lumpy Space Princess, how she views herself as a monster in high society, and yet if she were to be brought down to the peasant level of Finn and Jake, that's when she's truly being a good person, which is really ironic because there's an episode where LSP is a literal monster terrorizing little villagers in the woods, and she's a monster because she's camping out and doing all that sort of stuff and not living the high life. So it's really interesting. LSP has a very unique perspective on things, very much that of a self-absorbed teenage girl. And the fanfic is written pretty much exactly like that. One of my favorite parts about it was how Lumpy Space Prince's eyes would randomly turn anime for exaggerated emphasis on just how just overly romanticized this entire ridiculous story is, and it's exactly like you'd imagine LSP to have written it. So yeah. So I really like the anime eyes. That made me laugh a few times. Also, Cake was great in this episode. She really doesn't do anything aside from pointing out. She hangs lampshades on things, which basically just means she points out the jokes and weird things. Like, how did he know your name? And does anyone else see those faces in the sky? Like she just points out just the weird things, and it's funny. There's also a point where, okay, Adventure Time actually fooled me into believing that a character would throw a baby. That's how good a show this is, that I could forget that I'm just watching a cartoon where they could never do something as ridiculous as throwing a baby. But they fool me, and that just goes to show how much respect and how I think that anything could happen on Adventure Time. I mean, I think they showed us that once Magic Man turned that bird inside out. There's nothing that can't happen on this show. But it was a nice subversion. Yeah, so there's some, the episode isn't a laugh riot, but when the jokes happen, they really hit. And the story itself is just, it's so interesting and quirky on its own, that even if you don't look at it from the, what does this say about LSP, or Lumpy Space Princess, just kind of caring about Lumpy Space Prince, they kind of do what they did in Too Late. I think that, oh gosh, episode names. You know what I'm talking about, that episode with LSP. They kind of did that where they made Lumpy Space Prince really a flawed character, but still likable nonetheless. He's arrogant, he's a jerk to woodland creatures, he's not very nice. He's obviously flawed, but you still kind of want him to get his way. You still kind of are hoping that he has a happy ending. Adventure Time's really good at writing characters like that, like Lemongrab. I care about Lemongrab. Lemongrab is obnoxious, but I care about him. Especially Lemongrab 2, the slightly nicer Lemongrab. I care what happens to him. Adventure Time has a really cool habit of taking these characters that, if they were in any other show, they'd be flat and one note and unlikable, and giving them legitimate character flaws and depth so that you understand and recognize this is a flawed character, but a character with good qualities, a character that is earnestly trying despite their flaws, and a character that is enjoyable to watch and one that you actually root for. Adventure Time is great. I don't know if you could hear that. Wonderful subway outside my window. But Adventure Time is great for doing that, and this episode really just exemplifies it really well. So really cool episode, and I think my favorite comedically of this new season so far. I would say it's my favorite dramatically, but there's, I mean, the tower and Escape from the Citadel, even the opener. I don't even think I mentioned Prismo dying, but, well, spoiler. Well, okay. But still, it's like big stuff. They're doing a lot of dramatic stuff this season, and I think this episode has the perfect balance where it never goes like it doesn't go a whole minute without a joke, or if that makes any sense. Like there's like 50-second stretches of time where it's just straight story, and then it'll hit you with the joke, and that's what's great is that it's not constant comedy, so you're lulled and into the story, and you're not expecting the joke when it comes. I love shows that can do joke after joke, but shows that can also hold your attention with a story and then bam, hit you with a joke. That's really awesome. Really good storytelling and really good way to deliver your comedy is through some serious moments. So yeah, really fun episode. Probably one of my favorites this season, and I'm excited to see what they do next with Fiona and Cake. I hope they don't oversaturate us with them. I'm perfectly fine with it being once a season. I think that's the perfect amount. But if they were to do another one at the very end of this season, I think that'd be a decently spaced out time. But I'm definitely excited to see more. So yeah, Pieguyrulz out.